We're going to go through a banded shoulder internal rotation dynamic isometric. So for this one, we're going to be performing it in the sleeper position. I've attached a band to the bottom of the post. The type of band you use is one way you can control the intensity of this exercise, so a more resistant band will make it harder. Now I want to explain a little bit of the intent of this exercise. So the idea is the band is going to be pulling my shoulder from external rotation into internal rotation. And what I want to do during that movement is try to resist the band and provide as much movement variability possible within this movement. So what you have access to will be elbow flexion extension, so opening and closing, elbow rotation as well, and even a bit of wrist movement. So the idea is, if we imagine I'll be on my side, I'll be starting here. If I was to break this movement into 3 zones, from point A to point B, the finish will be somewhat here. I could say this is zone 1, this area here. Zone 2 will be midway, and zone 3 will be this last piece. So what I want to do is start in my zone 1, be able to spend a bit of time here resisting the band. So as that band is pulling me in this direction eccentrically, what I am doing is providing all those movement variability, so that opening and closing, rotation of the elbow, pronation, supination, movement of the wrist as well. So I'll give a demo of this exercise. I move on to my side. I'm going to take hold of the band, and how you hold it will be up to you. I sit back a little bit, just give me a bit of workspace here, okay, and then I decide where I'm going to perform this exercise, so where my elbow is going to be. Then I take hold of the band, give it some slack, and then externally rotate the shoulder. So this is where I'm going to start. Then I slowly take a brace with the working arm, slowly release tension from this hand, and then here I want to begin. So I feel the band is actually winning, it's pulling me in, so I don't want that to happen, so I need to move into different places where I feel I have a bit more capacity, and I also want to see how that feels. I want to explore all these different positions. So I close the elbow a fair bit. Now I'm going to start to open the elbow. I'll move slow. If you feel a bit unsafe with this exercise, what you could also do is have this hand here as a little brace or support to safeguard the shoulder joint in case any areas you move into all of a sudden you might feel very weak. For this reason, I'm moving very slow as well. So the band is starting to pull me quite a bit eccentrically. I'm getting into that zone 2 now as I'm starting to fatigue, and I'm still trying to explore various areas as much as possible, trying to use as many areas that don't feel as fatigued yet. And then as I'm starting to fatigue a bit more, I'm slowly moving to zone 3. Now what you can do if this starts to get a bit easy, because you might realize tension on the band is easing off, you can slide yourself up a bit more and move the elbow up again, and then continue from there. Constantly trying to move into many different places, slow and under control as I'm resisting this band. Opening the elbow further than 90 degrees, constantly resisting the band to the point where it gets me to my end. And then depending on the intent of the exercise, it could have been 1 rep, several reps. If it's another rep, then just reset. Take the slack off the band, externally rotate, take tension, and then repeat. Once again, as a reminder, you can play in terms of how you set up specifically. This elbow could have been further up here performing the exercise. I could have had it further down here. And also how I angle myself to the band will change how that resistance feels as it pulls my shoulder into internal rotation.